You know those moments when you try to do something kind, like really kind, just because you want to spread a little light in the world? Yeah. That was me 2 years ago. I'd been working as a freelance artist, mostly digital portraits, and I decided to run a little giveaway on my Instagram. Nothing fancy, just one free digital sketch for a random follower who liked, shared, and commented. The post blew up more than I expected. Over 300 entries in 2 days. I picked a winner, let's call her Karen, and DM'd her to let her know. She was so excited, sent me a selfie right away, even said she'd been dreaming of getting art like this forever. I spent about 4 hours on her sketch. It turned out really cute. Soft lines, gentle coloring, captured her smile just right. I sent it over. She replied with, "OMG, I love it." And then, a minute later, "Can you add my kids too? There's 3 of them. I want us all together in the same style." I blinked. I read it again. She wasn't asking if I could. She was telling me she wanted it done. No please, no offer to pay. Just a casual go draw more people for free. I replied politely, "Hey, so glad you like it, but the giveaway was just for a solo sketch. If you'd like a family portrait, I can offer you my commission rates." That's when things got messy. She replied with a wall of text. Something like, "Wow, I can't believe how greedy you are. You literally drew one sketch. It would take like 10 more minutes to just add my kids. You said this was a gift. Why are you charging for a gift now?" At that point, I was torn between laughing and throwing my tablet out the window. I took a deep breath and typed, "Hey again. Just to clarify, I offered a free sketch to celebrate my followers, not a free custom group commission. I still value my time and effort. If you're interested in a full piece, I'd be happy to discuss a rate that works for you." She left me on read. That night, I get a notification. She's posted my sketch in a Facebook group with a caption, "When artists pretend to be kind but just want your money." Oh no. She wanted to play games? Bet. She wanted to make me look like the bad guy? Fine. I had one more sketch left in me, just not the kind she expected. I stared at her post for a solid minute. She'd cropped out my watermark, of course. Hadn't tagged me, hadn't mentioned it was from a giveaway, just made it look like I was a greedy artist trying to extort her. Petty mode activated. So I opened up my drawing app, pulled up the original sketch, and started working on, let's call it an artistic sequel. I drew the same woman, Karen, but this time she had a huge golden crown on her head, a fur coat, and a throne made entirely of baby toys and juice boxes. She was holding a scroll labeled "List of Demands." Surrounding her were 3 cartoonish gremlin children with devil horns, all screaming. One of them was drooling, and above it all, in a grand banner font, "Queen of Free Stuff." I signed it clearly this time and posted it in the same group, captioned, "Inspired by a recent interaction. Art is love, but boundaries are sacred." The post exploded. Within hours, people were tagging her, laughing in the comments, quoting her own demands word for word. One guy wrote, "I feel attacked. My toddler thinks he's royalty too." Karen deleted her original post. Then she DM'd me. "That was mean. I just wanted a picture with my kids. You didn't have to humiliate me." I stared at the message. Then I typed, "Art is subjective." Blocked her. She wanted attention. She got it. Since then, I've had 5 new commissions, and one of them asked if I could draw their cat as a sassy queen. I said yes. There's something oddly familiar about people like Karen. They start with sugar, end with venom, and in between, a bottomless sense of entitlement. Let's unpack that, because this isn't just about a drawing or a giveaway. It's about how some people react when faced with kindness they didn't earn. At first, Karen was thrilled. Why wouldn't she be? She got something valuable, time, skill, attention for free. And that's where the problem begins. See, gratitude is hard to fake. Comes from humility, from understanding that someone didn't have to do something for you, but did it anyway. Entitlement, on the other hand, flips that completely. Instead of, "Wow, thank you," it becomes, "Okay, now do more." It's the psychological trap of the free sample effect. give someone a little, and instead of appreciating it, they assume they're owed more. And when you say no, that illusion shatters. Now you're no longer the kind artist. They recast you as the villain. How dare you limit your generosity? But let's be clear, generosity is not obligation. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to value your time. You are allowed to say, this much and no more. Karen didn't understand that. Or maybe she did, but thought public shaming would pressure me into giving in. That's another layer of emotional manipulation. See, entitled people often weaponize shame. They know kindness comes with empathy, and they twist that, make you feel guilty for saying no. But here's the truth. Kindness without boundaries becomes a trap for you. That moment I drew the second sketch, the Queen of Free Stuff, wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming the narrative. If she wanted to shame me for having standards, I was going to highlight her for crossing them. Not cruelly, just honestly, with satire. The internet laughed, not because she was poor or a mother, but because she demanded more while giving nothing. That's the line. And after that, I started screening commission requests more carefully. I stopped undervaluing my art. I learned that no is a complete sentence. I also learned that when you give, someone will always ask for more. That's not cynicism, it's pattern recognition. And the best artists, the kindest people, the most generous givers, they don't stop giving, but they learn when to stop being taken from. That's what boundaries protect. Not just your time, your dignity, your joy in giving. And that's a lesson Karen never learned. But I did. Have you ever had someone twist your kindness into obligation? Share your choosing beggar moment below. I'm all ears. Some people will always ask for more. That doesn't mean you have to give it. Your time, your energy, your kindness, they're gifts, not currency. You don't owe anyone more than what you're willing to give. So if you've ever felt bad for saying no, let this be your reminder. Kindness doesn't mean saying yes to disrespect. Draw your boundaries, paint your worth, and never apologize for protecting what you love. Thanks for watching. And if you've ever dealt with a choosing beggar, I want to hear your story. Drop it below.